Let's go to Annelise Nielsen. She's with Jim Kennedy, and as these numbers continue, we've been watching very closely to see if there's any shift in the trend. At this point, the trend is Mr. Trump's friend. It continues to be.
Look, the trend keeps solidifying. And Jim, so you worked on a lot of Democrat campaigns, two Clinton campaigns, really. Right. When we're looking at how they marketed Kamala Harris this time around, from the Trump side, when she became the candidate, we've played this ad before on Sky, and it was one that played in every swing state I was in ad nauseum. And it was about when she was in California as Attorney General, she helped pay for transgender prisoners to have what they were calling affirmative care. So right. I think they said 2 sex changes, operations were paid for but in prison. Right. And the point of that advertising was to say to voters, she's not a moderate.
Right, right.
And do you think that worked?
Yeah, I think that was a very effective ad. I think the paid advertising in the swing states were really part of sort of an underground campaign that was very effective, because it really sort of challenged her to define herself, and she never really took the bait on it, I think, to her detriment. And so it's really part of a societal change. It really raised red flags about who she was. I remember that ad had a tagline that said, "She's for they, them, he's for you." I think that was a very effective line that played substantially in his favor in those battleground states. And she, for her part, could have had a sister soldier moment on that issue or something else, on immigration, for example, but she never did. She never took the chance to say, okay, I'm going to say no to the progressive wing of my party and stand on my own 2 feet. She never did that, and I think that was also to her detriment if she goes on to lose.
And I mean, Axios ran a story 2 days ago listing every different policy she refused to clarify her position on from when she ran in the primaries in 2020, and they called her the no comment candidate. Right. It seems like from their perspective, they thought all they had to do was just not be Trump. Right. It doesn't look like that's working.
That's right. Yeah, I used to be a press secretary, and my job was to say no comment, but I wasn't running for president. Presidents can't get away with no comment. And she, for her part, people didn't know her, and she needed to define herself, and she avoided press too much. And I think she was unable to really define who she was and where she wanted to take the country. And I think, again, that's another factor. If she goes on to lose, that's another factor that's at work here.
I mean, there was even a TikTok influencer who the whole premise of the TikTok is having a hot take, and he didn't end up running Kamala Harris's piece because she refused to give a hot take on anything new. Right. So no,
I think she was overly cautious, and again, you can do that if you're running for Senate maybe, but not for president. And it also goes to an underlying issue in terms of the Democratic Party moving too far in a left-wing direction. Bill Clinton famously won an election because he was part of what was called the DLC, which was a move to bring the party back to the center. And he ran on centrist issues, including putting more police on the street. And that was very successful. I think we need a 21st century version of the DLC to remake the Democratic Party if it's going to succeed in the future.
Yeah, well, if Trump's coming across as more of a moderate, you've got,
right.
got some challenges there. But we don't know where this is going to go yet. It does really seem like Trump's got this. The path to victory now for Kamala Harris is really narrowing down. And frankly, if Trump can get Pennsylvania, we're just done here. So, Kieran, this is changing minute by minute.